Let's see.
Hold on. I believe Atheus needs to actually start recording.
Well, no. I'm asking to. I'm not saying
For our own
because there's a
sakes.
few of us. There's a few party members who are still muted, so I'm waiting until everyone's ready to go. I'm just trying to refresh myself because I kind of forgot where we left off.
Well, you see, we left off with
It's a bad idea, but we're doing it anyway.
I don't remember where Amber is exactly, but I do remember 3 of us are going to help/save Tanya, even though the world told us not to.
Well, they said Tanya's left town, but isn't too far out.
Yes, but what I'm saying is the world told us not to.
Yeah, well, the world didn't tell us not to, just that it would go badly.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Pretty much. And what are we doing anyways?
And Dandy is trying to help the magical
Civ. Yes.
Civ, yes.
The apprentice Civ. Not
the magical arena fighter who was turned. Yeah, Savon.
Well, Savon is the one who got
Sinov.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
Anyways, yes, Civ is the one. Civ is the one who's trying to help, but not to be confused with Shiv because she's not going to stab you
yet.
But yes, so
not with a mundane.
Then he gave someone who doesn't seem to care at all permission to go into his head.
Let's see. I gotta figure
to be able to figure out which pieces to put together into the.
Yeah, because she was like, I don't understand this mindset. It's completely alien to me. Oh,
how
hey.
dare you, Galarian?
Oh, hey,
right?
I'm here for Longhorn Con.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Why do you betray us?
Okay, get this Longhorn
What are you talking about? Okay, let's
face.
play both campaigns right here.
At the same time.
Who are you
people? All right. That's it. We're all playing U Realms right now.
Woo!
Oh no!
The last time there was this many people in one chat was back when Foenum was the only thing on the server.
No, last time there was this many people in chat was when there was a huge jackpot screen at the end of the festival.
What's finale?
And then everybody started
Uncle, what's
Queen.
wrong in the meat rooms?
Alright, here's how it's gonna be. Every person who's a DM, we're gonna be playing the campaigns at the exact same time in the exact same channel.
We're going with the TDM rule.
Alright, Nessina, I hope you're ready.
Alright,
Alright, you jokers, get back.
Are you ready for that Noble Dawn session right now?
Alright, so
Noble Dawn right
you guys are getting ambushed by Oyster right now. Roll initiative.
So, OC, is the time right now done?
As you climb yourself, as the party
if it's
climbs,
done, we have to kill that noble.
As the party climbs to the
nearby,
next room,
a dark presence coalesces and outsteps Oystein. Dun dun dun. Cloaked in a spooky cloak.
Okay, that happened.
That sure did. Thank you, Galarian. So that was amusing. All right. Yes, top 10
we
betrayals
haven't actually
indeed.
started yet.
I think I recorded all of it.
That too.
So I was gonna tell you straight up that Tanya just wasn't an option to talk to because she just straight up left town. But I'm sensing some dire determination to hunt her down anyways.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So rather basically pull DM magic, like, I'm sorry, but no.
5-1 Sky.
Time to skywrite. Tanya, meet us here.
No, she's ignoring that. That's why we scry.
Well,
I don't have scrying.
That
I have
said,
divination.
Everyone looks like everyone's here. Is everyone ready to go?
Whoa.
I forgot. There's like this massive thing I forgot about.
What was that?
One less copper piece.
Yes, that might be important.
Yes, I need to remove one copper because I left it. Because it was the gift.
I should probably remember what you're referring to.
Ileana.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yep.
One copper.
It's like leaving a Canadian penny as a tip. Well, I mean, if I recall correctly, that's actually like a legitimate insult, but all right. Well,
I'm pretty sure leaving any sort of penny as a tip is an insult.
Regardless of country of origin.
Fair. Although a euro penny wouldn't be too bad, if nothing else, then because
they don't
the
need
exact nature thereof. Thank you, birds. Fine screen cap. Oh, that's right. I should leave the chat, so I'm not distracted by the silly shenanigans you people are bound to get up to.
We get it.
All right. Well, it's I'm not very good at multitasking, so when people are RPing and I'm reading through what people are saying in commentary, I usually miss what's being said, and sometimes I'll bust out laughing. So
that's part of the fun.
I'm not allowed to read the Discord chat while DMing. I've forbidden myself. All right.
The sad day of Canada and their fault the world.
All right, let's go ahead and officially start. Thanks everyone for showing up.
Yay.
And when we last left off,
Stars, I can't take your picture seriously.
Dandy was currently having his mind sifted through by Civ. And Corvine, Saye, and Baiguang are heading off to see if they can find Tonya. Amber, is there anything in particular you're doing at the moment? And Amber's just kind of chilling out, doing whatever Amber does.
Clearly, she's at the Winterblood Estate to hang out with her sister.
I mean, it's probably a pretty good place to be hanging out. Conversely, you could just be performing in the streets, earn a little extra coal, earn a little extra whatever have you. All right. So you and your half sister are chilling out, catching up, building some sisterly bonds.
When a couple of guys that were up to no good.
As a side note, so the two of you are, you've come from very different backgrounds, so it's a little strange. But your personalities seem to mesh actually pretty well. So you hit it off pretty nicely. There's a few things where you don't quite match up, but after all said and done, your relationship is becoming familial very quickly. At least a lot quicker than would be expected, all things considered. We will go ahead and go to the other three, and then we will visit Dandy last.
Okay.
So, unless Dandy, do you want to go right away?
No.
Okay. So you guys have decided to see if you can't track down Tonya, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I take it you head out of the city.
Had we been given like an inkling of what direction to go?
No, you guys hadn't received any information in that regard.
It takes 31 minutes, so the woe was just we couldn't find her in 30 minutes. Oh well.
Oh my.
But no, you guys haven't received any information as far as which direction she went.
Do we have a ranger in the party?
Fudge.
Sky is not in this dimension.
Who plays Rangers? They're clearly the most boring class.
So, do we percept or do we survive?
I believe tracking is straight up tied to survival, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
So those would be some survival checks.
And thank you for that. Some expertise in that.
Survival.
You have expertise in survival.
Heck yeah.
Wait, what? I'm
Sihon.
sorry, what? See, I misheard you and thought you said extra teas. I was like, what the heck does that mean?
Extra D's.
Sihon is
Oh.
going to aid Bai Guang. Kaboom.
All right, so that's 16, 18, and 21. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah.
You had advantage on that?
Sihon was
Yes.
aiding.
Right, yes. Very good.
Yes. Oh yeah, familiars can aid. That's right. Hold on. I have a familiar too. Oh, 16.
I mean, it never hurts, right?
Yeah.
All right. So at first, like you get out there, and once you get beyond the southern gates of the city, there's a large road
Oh, no.
large road that heads out of the
Hey,
city, and
Can y'all
Giant
do me a
cows.
favor? Can y'all hop over to the other channel just to shame Snow?
No, we're in a session.
yeah, we
Yo,
just
session has
started
started.
session.
Well, after session.
Sounds like a good idea.
Because he made some no context. He's the worst.
Okay, so is there anything particular we should say to shame him, or just show up and say shame?
He already left.
Oh,
Oh wait, no, he didn't.
No, that was Cactus that left to go
Oh.
shame Snow.
well,
Okay.
to be fair, he technically has a moment to do so. So
That's true.
thank you for
So-
doing your duty, Cactus. Assuming you went over there to shame him. Right. So there's a main road that heads south, and then
Giant
splits
cows.
off a few places here and there to head off towards various locations throughout the nation. But beyond this road, much of Rain is just kind of an empty snow, not a wasteland, but there's not a lot there. So this makes things both easy and hard to follow, depending on the weather and how recently it snowed.
Actually, I would know this road
Oh,
because I traveled this road before.
On the road. On the road.
You're
On the road again.
in searching around, you discover that you think you pick up a trail. It didn't end up assuming it's her, she didn't take any of the roads, it looks like. Rather, she headed off into the snow.
Wait, hold on. Assuming it's her?
Well, there's
She's got very unique.
well, let me finish.
Okay.
Assuming it's her. However, you notice that it's a very faint trail because gray paints have been made to cover it up.
Does it look like paw prints?
It looks like slightly disturbed snow and a general direction. It's sort of like a faint trail, but
Okay.
a cursory glance would
that-
have.
Better question. Is it not her friends?
Whatever tracks made this trail has covered them.
Are there 8 of them?
Again, whatever. The only way you can tell for sure that it's a trail is because the snow's been somewhat recently disturbed.
Investigation or survival to see if they're freaking
Okay.
hoof prints.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Which one? Actually, you know what? They're both the same modifier.
I will cast guidance on you and aid
So
you.
just which one?
I think nature or survival. I think would be applicable.
Nature or survival? Yeah, I'll go with survival.
All right.
I'm not very good at helping.
And guide.
I'm aiding you
Oh.
and giving you guidance. Roll,
Alright.
roll your advantage for being aided.
And the
Yeah, they're all
a-
survival again.
oh, okay, 31.
All right. It's definitely her. These the tracks that are left behind have been made by, basically spider legs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say.
But that said, each hole was meticulously filled back in, and you can also see that some ice magic was used to try and restore the path to be as pristine as possible.
So she really took her time.
So, in short, yes, she took extraordinary efforts to try and cover her tracks. Literally.
She was here. Ziza definitely has.
So that's why I couldn't answer your question, because there were no tracks to answer your question with.
Yeah. But she figured out that they were there.
There were a few small telltale signs that she missed here and there.
A few small, like, double claw marks and a little bit of the paw imprint.
Like a tiny little puncture here in the snow, or a small lump of snow that's a little artificial in its shape and size that might have been covering something. Very subtle things.
Yes.
All
So,
the subtle details.
do you think you can still track it the whole way?
I could try.
Let's go, quickly.
Another roll to track the whole way.
Give me 3 rolls.
All of them aided and guided.
Here we go.
So 3 advantage rolls.
You're gonna roll the guidance for me? Thank you. That makes things much easier.
Yeah, no, I just have a button for it. So conveniently, those were the same. So
Get that one. That one.
All right.
So it looks like it's 27, 20, and 26.
As you make your way through, the first leg of it is, again, it's difficult, but you manage to keep track of it for the most part. A little ways in, you lose sight of it from time to time, and use your best guesstimation to get there. There's a couple times you've noticed where she used some, web to supplement her efforts to traverse the snow without being traced, which apparently actually was kind of not a half bad idea. The only issue is apparently she quickly discovered that cleaning it up was kind of a tricky proposition.
Yeah, since
so it wasn't tried very many times.
So it's probably safe to say that she tried the idea, tried it, it was successful, and then tried to clean up and realized, oh, this isn't quite the idea I thought this would be.
It's good to move around, but it leaves a trail fairly noticeable.
And after some time, probably, we'll say a good few hours, you finally reach the end. You finally reach the end of it, and it just kind of stops.
Stops where?
Abruptly.
Yeah, but where?
This
Like,
abruptly.
it's like any environment.
Are we in the middle of nowhere?
Pretty much. It's just snow as far as the eye can see.
So now go back to your panel.
And it's sorry. It's getting on towards evening.
Just for good measure, I'm gonna do something I've never done before. Baiguang is gonna cast Druidcraft to check the weather for the next 24 hours. Mostly, he wants to see if it's going to be snowing actively.
Clear skies with a high of 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, with a low of probably about negative 12 or 13. Clear skies with maybe some light cloud cover. Some mild snow flurries in the morning, but it'll probably clear up by mid-afternoon.
Thanks, musician.
Mm-hmm.
So that. So now, what was the harmless sensory effect that indicated all of that?
A reporter's voice.
Fair enough.
So, Corvine's gonna try digging. How useful is that? Like, What type of roll is that?
Yeah,
Athletics?
sounds about right.
Would you like some help getting that snow out of there?
We're
Say,
getting-
of the flaming variety?
You guys are getting so much mileage out of those familiars and guidance. I'm one part
I'm not
impressed,
even using
one
it for
part,
records.
one part impressed, one part disgusted. All right,
So 22.
all right.
Higher than I can roll.
You dig down about, we'll say, a couple of pup lengths. That's right, I said pup lengths.
Yay.
Going by my system.
Before your hoof hits something, it sticks to it.
The snow is deep.
Sticks to it like
Like you're
webby.
digging, and all of a sudden you're digging, and all of a sudden your hoof hits something, and you try to yank it off, and it won't come off.
Okay.
It's not particularly hard what you hit. It's just,
Yes, it's web, I'm assuming.
well, it's white.
And stringy.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Mostly because it's a little blinding to being in the middle of all the snow.
White on white. Just like the painting.
It does look a little off, but it doesn't seem like super off. So, yes, maybe? Yes. Yeah, it's webbing.
She's down there.
How stuck is Corvine?
Oh, you also notice that there's a beautiful sunset that'll be happening soon.
Ah, lovely. But
Oh,
yes,
great.
how stuck is Corvine? Is she able to pull her hoof off of the what we now for certain know to be web?
With concerted effort, she probably would be able to. Like a casual, it's not quite enough, but like a hard yank might be able to do it. Sorry, your hoof is firmly stuck.
Baiguang hits that bit of web with Sacred Flame, which does not require an attack roll, so I'm not going to miss.
It's not fire.
Doesn't matter. It's still damaging.
Fair enough. It blows that bit of webbing away, and Corvine is now free.
I don't want OC to make me roll and then I roll a 1.
Roll! Now roll your 1.
No, the web has to make a dexterity save.
Not that it needs to, but I will just for kicks and giggles because
Just a -5 for having 0 dex. So does a 13 pass?
Well, it got an 18 on its dex save.
Yes, but it's got 0 dexterity.
I know it doesn't count anyways. I was rolling mostly to see if it fumbled for kicks and giggles.
Amusingly, my DC is 17. But
Well,
as Corvine points out,
funny enough,
-5 dex mod.
it seems an inanimate object has somehow beat its dex save. All right, Corvine, your hoof is free.
Okay.
It's a cantrip, so I'd do it again.
So, do any of you think she's down there?
Baiguang
I
looks
nod.
at Corvine.
Yes, stars.
No, I said Baiguang just looks at Corvine
Oh, okay.
in response to, do you think she's down there?
Well, it could just be a trap meant to throw people off.
I suppose.
Is that just a web? Yeah, I think she's down there.
So how are we getting in?
I can't remember, out of character, I can't remember if I've ever attempted a divine sense around her.
I don't believe you have.
Divide sense around Corvine or Tanya?
No, around Tanya.
No.
I've definitely done it next to Corvine. Let's see. Celestials, fiends, and undead. And unholy sites. That's a little rude.
I mean,
I would detect magic, but that's 10 minutes.
it's not played to divine sense a lady.
Rude.
So are you using it?
Nah.
Okay.
Okay.
And like I said,
Okay.
I could detect magic, but that takes 10 minutes to ritual cast.
Yes, Cactus?
No.
Well, no.
Corvine's gonna call down the hall. Tanya?
There appears to be no response.
Baiguang tries. Tanya, are you down there?
Still no response?
Bio, make a Constitution ability check, would you?
Okay.
There appears to be no inherent response.
Bygone.
Hmm.
Corvine eyes him. Do you think you could get rid of the webs somehow?
I could easily enough. Don't know how much of them there are under all this snow, but I can have a go at it.
Can you do so without hurting anyone if they're too close?
I think so.
Notes, please.
He begins repeatedly sacred flaming.
All right, could you give me an Arcana check, please? This is to control your spell.
It's a cantrip.
Yes, but he's attempting to very carefully sculpt it, in a sense. At least so it sounds to me. So it's taking a little more effort to control it versus just blasting it.
Well, it's not really much of a blast. It's more like that thing, and
Well,
then that thing burns.
I use the word blast as a...
Well, yeah, what he's doing is he's doing the thing that you don't want us to do. And casting a cantrip until the obstacle breaks.
You
I
laughed
have an
at me.
idea if this fails.
By the way, you laughed at me. You told me that doesn't happen, and I said, "Oh, it does." It sure does, and here we are.
I have an idea if that fails.
To be fair, he could have just used his fire bow
Oh.
once.
I could have, but the request was without hurting anything that might be too close.
Yes.
All right. As you begin sacred flaming it, you see bits of webbing coming off and burning away, and it doesn't take too long before suddenly you see Floof immediately underneath the web, sort of puff out a little bit, and become a bit singed as you make your way down.
Uh-huh.
Nope.
I should mention that this spell doesn't miss; it gets dodged.
Do you continue after the bit of Floof appears, or do you stop?
I stop for the moment.
Burn the floof.
Oh no!
Rude.
Well, it's radiant, so I guess I irradiated the flute.
Okay.
Fall out now.
Tanya?
There's no response.
Saihong goes down to check. Saihong having blind sense, by the way.
So it's not so much that
Blind sight.
when you dug down, it's not like you dug down into a cave or a tunnel. Rather, you dug down until you hit something that was buried under the snow. And when you hit it, that was the web. So as you've been burning it away, you suddenly discovered there's a floof, maybe like a quarter of a pup length from the surface of the web.
Is there anything beyond the floof, or is it just left there?
So 3 elf steps. Sprite steps. Here we go.
Are we making a new system here?
I'd like each of you to give me an intelligence check, please. Or nature, if you have that.
Both pretty much the same thing. So
All right. Corvine, you get the feeling that 12, huh? Yeah, we'll say that's good enough. You get the
that was meant
feeling.
to be intelligence, by the way.
Gotcha. You get the feeling that what you're looking at might not be so much like a cave under the snow, but maybe more of a cocoon.
Yeah. I got that part.
Gotcha.
But wait, why would it be a cocoon per se?
A chrysalis, as it were.
But it's a
This
spider.
is a spider.
Spiders don't have
either-
metamorphosis.
Either way, the spider is unresponsive to your. Is currently unresponsive.
Okay. Then,
Huh.
Corvine's gonna start pulling webs.
All right. You yank webs off. Are you doing this carefully or with reckless abandon?
She's gonna try to, pull the webs off to expose her face.
Are you pulling them off carefully or are you just ripping them off?
I don't know how you could.
AKA, like, are you just ripping it off regardless if it yanks a whole lot of floof with it? Are you carefully trying to separate, like, skin and...
Okay. She's gonna try and avoid, like, hurting her, but otherwise she's trying to remove the web.
Okay. As you, dig, as you start removing it, you realize that you're looking at her top side, I guess? Like her back?
Her dorsum.
Yeah, because not her back side, but, like, you're basically looking down at her spine, basically.
Her abdomen.
Yes, there we go.
The thorax.
Yeah, that would be appropriate. So yes, you're currently looking at what appears to be her thorax, with the flute that extends a bit towards it, and you realize that as you dig down, she's curled into a tight ball.
Okay.
Oh.
Just go a little further and maybe you'll find her ocellus.
I should probably know that. I should probably know what that means, but that's not the point.
Simple
So-
eyes.
So Corvine's gonna start, like, trying to rouse her.
Finally, jeesh. The figure of Tanya stirs, and quite suddenly she pops up and out of the snow, looking very much alert. Still covered with bits of web, and you realize that, sure enough, she was in a cocoon of web, a few pup lengths underneath the snow, although she's very much now above the snow, and looking at you guys with great alarm. And, well, the initial impression is hostility, because she thinks she's in danger. She pauses for several moments. And lets out a bit of a breath. You scared me. How did you find me?
It wasn't easy.
There were some tracks that you didn't cover.
By the way, she made 3 con saves, and the second one she fumbled, so she wasn't making up for nothing.
Hence the finally.
Yes.
Should be more careful.
I was careful. I used ice magic, and I used my webbing. I used everything I knew how to cover my tracks.
We're better than most at this, or at least some of us are.
See. Well,
We're sorry it took so long to come find you. There's too many things happening.
no offense, I wasn't exactly looking to be found.
I meant, you know, a month ago, he mutters.
Well, I thought about it and I finally decided to leave Rain.
That's. I can understand. But why did you exactly?
There's nothing for me here. There's nothing here for me in this desolate wasteland of ice and snow.
Then where will you go?
Someplace where I can feed upon small forest critters, rabbits, perhaps mice. So I don't have to sit there and wait for gang wars to. She closes her eyes for a minute. Eating the corpses of dead gang members takes its toll on you.
It's alright. I was just worried. I thought you were going to. I don't know what I thought.
I just. Someplace that's not Rain. My family. Well, my brother is a monster, and my sisters are abroad. The law would kill me on sight. I didn't even think about it until I met you guys, and I started thinking about how I was living in a filthy shack, blood-stained carpet. I used to live in a nice home. I had servants, and I had food, I had oats, I had everything a reindeer could ask for, but
Well, does that mean that you thought against the operation?
Do you think it would be even... Is it even... how to put this? Can she even make it?
That was my worries. I'm surprised she changed her mind.
she's out of time. Let's say I do somehow. I can undo what's been done to me. What do I go back to? If people find out my brother's been going on to, my name will be...
Your name. Your name. Your name does not matter.
It does.
You don't
Whether
even
I like
have to
it or
live in
not.
rain. No. No. She looks toward her and up toward her face.
You're cutting out a bit.
She looks toward her, up toward her face, and says, "You don't have to live in rain. You could live elsewhere.
Well,
You
yes.
could even live as someone else.
Yes, that's...
You don't have to live hunting small game."
But here's the thing, if I... She shakes her head. The problem is someone somewhere would know who I am. No, things are better this way. I'm a gray sky whether I like it or not, and nothing can change that.
That's. Just because you're a gray sky doesn't mean you're Einstein.
No. But try convincing the rest of the city or even the world that.
That's why I offered you help. If you wish to leave Rain, you can. Just... I just want to help you.
Saya approaches Corvine and places a hoof over her to comfort her. It's okay. If this is her choice, maybe we should let her go.
Then let me go back to sleep. I can only travel at night. In fact, even being out here is risky.
Well, sorry.
You see, I figured it out. She looks down. If I wrap myself in web and bury myself under the snow, then I'm safe and covered. And well, I thought nobody would be able to find me.
I'm back.
I'm back.
If we didn't... We almost didn't find you, actually. It's effective. But where you're going, you won't have this luxury.
I've been abroad. I know that I won't always have the snow to cover my tracks, as it were. But I also know there are forests out there that are so thick they could easily live in them and never be found. Or if I am found, I'll be by some small locals and I'll just become something of a legend. Something to scare their children at night with, I guess.
Oh. You're not a monster.
She looks down. I'm sorry, Miss Winterblood, but not all stories have a happy ending.
They don't have to. But even so, I'll make sure as many of them as possible do.
You have a good
Yep.
heart.
Tanya Buzzet, just know this. You're not a monster to us.
Well, thank you. She looks over at the sun that's now beginning to touch the horizon. Should get back to sleep. I still have a good hour or two yet before I need to get moving again. She looks down at the cocoon she made herself. It's gonna take me a few minutes to fix that back up.
Sorry. Do you know where you're going?
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out if Rain is an island or a continent.
I mean,
Oh my word, really?
I say continent.
it could be a island continent.
I mean, because is it like Australia?
Continents are islands.
Australia.
Not all continents.
Is it like Australia? Is it like big enough to be considered a continent, but kind of an islandish?
Not all continents are islands. Some of them are connected.
Yeah, I'll just say, just somewhere out of this nation. I think I'm going to head east,
East.
maybe up towards the meadows. Not to the meadows, of course, but I hear there's some lovely thick forests around there.
Hmm.
The meadows, sorry, not the meadows.
Then, when this is all over, would you mind if I visited sometimes?
Oh, I suppose it'd be nice if someone were to remember me for once. She says with a sad smile.
Tanya, take care.
Well, thank you, all three of you.
Baiguang finally speaks up. Just wherever you end up, just remember that there are people somewhere who care about you.
She nods. And that she silently climbs back into her cocoon and begins weaving it anew. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I thought I heard it sound like something cut out. Thought maybe
Oh,
I'd like
that
lost
was-
connection or something.
No,
Hello.
that was probably me. So it came back really quickly.
Okay, gotcha. That said, the process of her making a cocoon is somewhat fascinating. She crawls in, lies on her back, and begins, spinning and adding threads here and there. She's a little clumsy at it. It's obvious she doesn't have a ton of practice doing this. This might be the second time or third time she's done this. But it's still somewhat fascinating to watch all the same.
That's also smart.
And once the cocoon is finished, you see it move around a bit to shuffle the snow above the surface. And
Corvin
there's a,
helps.
and there's a small, you sense a small bit of magic as some ice forms up from the cocoon and fills in the missing spaces in the snow, all but perfectly concealing her spot.
Mhm.
Let's keep going and turn around a bit further forward.
Yes, we wouldn't want to expose her.
Bagwang nods in agreement.
I presume you guys haven't exactly been trying to hide your tracks.
Not exactly, no, because we didn't really understand the situation.
Fair enough.
We keep going.
Yeah, we're just
By the
gonna
way-
keep going forward.
If you guys want, you can make some stealth checks to cover up where the interaction occurred.
No, what we're doing is we're
No,
gonna
what-
keep. No,
Well,
we're
no,
gonna,
I get what you're
Oh.
saying, Midnight. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is you guys have been standing and moving around in the same spot for a while, so it's kind of obvious where you've been talking to her. So I'm saying is, if you want, you can make some stealth checks to cover up the spot where you had the conversation and look like it was a normal part of the tracks, aka like you didn't stop there.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay then. Don't worry about Corvine. Saya's got this.
Yeah.
She's covering up both the tracks.
All right. So you guys head back to town then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bef-
we probably head to like the closest point where you'd
Yeah,
naturally turn around and then do it.
Well, I mean, ultimately head back to town. What's up, Stars? You were saying something?
last thing, when they make the return trip, I suppose, last thing Bagwang does is he uses Druidcraft and just blossoms a single flower for her to find when she wakes up.
Boy, that makes what we just did pointless.
Shush you.
Aren't you ever the romantic? Just don't tell Vixen about this. All right. Dandy.
I'm here.
Hi. So, the venture into your mind is an interesting one. As mentioned, she didn't. She asked you to sort of just keep yourself blank and unthinking. So you have a sort of an observer as she begins filtering through your mind. And she decides to go through your mind almost like a labyrinth with doors. And she comes across several doors, such as memories from when you were small, a few doors about, your early days with Vesper. But she never lingers there. She just sort of opens the door, glances in, and shuts it. Finally, she comes on a corner, as it were, and opens a door, and she goes, ah! And she steps in and immerses herself in your early arena days. And you find that she's sort of watching your memories through your own eyes. And for a minute, and for several moments, you can tell that her mind and your mind are kind of merged. Although she is what's the best way to put this? Her mind is becoming your mind for brief moments as she goes through the process of entering the arena, the first fight, later on meeting your friends, later on rising up the ranks, later on learning about the division between magic and might, your encounters with Dag. And what's fascinating about it is it's a very interesting journey down memory lane, even conjuring up things that, to say you didn't remember that would kind of be incorrect, but kind of like, oh wow, I kind of forgot about that. Huh, neat.
Mm-hmm.
And after being in your head for, well, you're not really sure how long she's in your head for, she finally reaches the point about, since when you fought Savan and brought her to here. She admittedly lingers a little bit when she reaches the parts where you first met her, and sort of takes a moment to observe your thoughts about her. And speaking of which, what were they?
I don't
What were your first impressions of her?
know. That's a good question. I assume I saw her as, I don't know, she's pretty graceful. She's. She was just fun to fight, I guess. I don't know.
I actually meant Civ, not Savan. Sorry, I should have clarified. The
What?
apprentice who's digging through your mind.
Oh,
Yeah, she's lingering on when you first met her, because she's essentially a teenager and she can't help but be curious.
oh, there's a bit of almost sort of contempt towards her.
Look at this punk kid.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And after she looks at that, she pulls out, and you feel your mind sort of come back together again, restack itself the way it's supposed to be, and everything begins running properly, and you come to lying on the ground exactly where you were standing a moment ago. And she looks a bit weirded out.
What? What are you looking at me like that for?
Nothing. I just so that's technically the first time I've done that spell. Okay, it's not. Sorry, you were gonna say something?
It's a pretty neat spell.
Well,
You know, someone who'd find that rather interesting.
okay. When I say spell, it's actually not technically true. I'm probably not supposed to tell you this, but so it's not very popular or widely known. It's not. No one really talks about it. But yeah, you know a little bit about magic. I remember seeing that in your head. So normally, how normally magic is either it's divine or arcane, right?
Yes.
Well, there's a.
You,
Sorry, it's a little hard to explain, but there's technically a third kind of magic. She makes air quotes with her hooves.
are you referring to psionics?
Yes, actually.
I had I had a friend once who used those. He's unfortunately passed away.
She pauses for a moment and holds up a hoof with her eyes kind of growing wider. And she looks back towards the center of the room, specifically at the table where Espen first started working on Dag. And his eyes sort of drift up into the air a bit and just sort of linger.
I mean, I'm sure you saw him.
And back.
He meant a lot to me, but he's gone now. People come and go all the time. That's how the world works.
I don't know that he's gone.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That little ghost image of him.
Ghost?
Yeah.
No, ghosts. No, absolutely not. Ghosts are a fairy tale. Oh, that's there's no such thing as ghosts. It's stupid. Do you recall? Was it a couple months ago? I think I don't remember exactly, but so I'm not quite psionic. You see, I have a tiny bit of latent ability. Not a lot, but enough to be able to. Well, what you went through was essentially my tiny, small amount of psionic ability greatly enhanced by my arcane practice. That's about the limit of what I could do right there. I can't do a whole lot more. But one of the reasons Espen brought me on was to study what he called psionic theory. And anyways, I was told that about a couple months ago, I don't remember exactly when, the sky flashed red, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what happened, I remember that I didn't see it, but I remember when it happened because I was actually incapacitated for, I think, about 2 days afterwards.
Oh.
You see, what happened, and I think what happened to your poor friend, was something triggered a massive burst of psionic energy. And those who were actively psionic and could use that ability, well, it was too much. But the thing about psionics and those who use psionics, you see, they don't follow the normal rules that we follow. Their source of power is kind of other. It's kind of alien. Well, not really alien. It's the natural part. It's as natural as druidic magic or holy magic or whatever else have you. It's very, very rare. It's extremely hard to find. In fact, it's probably safe to say that in all the city, there's maybe like half a dozen, if that. But so I think that's what happened to your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was an actual, well, I don't know what the name of a user of psionic energies is called. We'll say a psionicist, I guess. Sure, why not? I'll use that.
I've heard the term scion.
Scion?
Yes.
She tilts her head slightly. Nah. Anyways, I like Psionis better. Yeah, she's being a brat. I mean, if he was a true psionicist, I mean, he's probably dead. But that was a manifestation. But if he was there, either A, the memory of him was given, maybe what we saw was an illusion conjured up from you and your friend's memories of him, or maybe remnants, or I don't know. She shrugs.
So what you're telling me is that he's not a ghost, but he's a ghost.
She looks at him. What I'm saying is that whatever it is that keeps us alive, that was making him alive, might still be around. A ghost is an impossible concept. It cannot happen. But if something of him remains, and I'm not saying that there is or isn't, but if something of him remains, it might be because he is an actual practitioner of these things. But I don't know. I'm admittedly kind of thinking out loud here.
I have no opinion, really.
Anyways,
The point.
the
Did
point
you get
is,
what you needed?
yes, I think I get it now. It's still really weird to me, but something fighting people, you get to see who they really are. Something camaraderie ship. You get to push yourself. You get to feel alive while you do it. Something along those lines. I still think it's a little crazy to sit there and have people beat you up for a living. I don't get why people like that, but she shrugs. I've also noticed you seem remarkably. She pauses to find the word. I guess unyielding? No. Like nothing phases you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Like you sort of just seem to be able to just sort of shrug everything off, which is kind of interesting. I didn't look into that too hard. How do you do it?
Not. You just need to find. How do I explain this? I don't know. I suppose it's all about looking on the bright side of things. And also exercise.
I mean, I wouldn't describe it as apathy. Exercise? She looks at him kind of like somewhere between, are you serious? And please, you're not serious, are you?
Yeah. He just shrugs. Player speaking, I'm very tired right now. I don't know if you can tell.
Did you go to bed last night?
Yeah?
Marvelous. Goodness knows I've DM'd without sleep before. I remember one session where I woke up at session time. That was a doozy. But that's a.
Yeah.
I don't think that was with this group. I think that was that with this group?
Either way.
Yeah, either way. Alright, well, in any case, thanks. I think I can get it taken care of. I'll let you know how things progress.
All right.
Oh, and
Yeah.
she turns and give me an insight check, would you?
Very well.
All right.
Not very insightful.
Well, it's enough to say that she wants to thank you, but her pride is kind of getting in the way.
Dandy just smiles and says, "Be careful with her."
Sure. Do you have any questions or anything you want to add before you get going?
I'll, for better or for worse, I'll put my faith in you.
And snobby brat that I am.
You know it.
Oh.
Only sometimes.
She smiles. It's only natural to be jealous of success.
He gives a smile. A proud one. A very flattered one.
Don't slam the door on your way out. I need to focus.
Hmm.
And as she turns towards Savan, who is frothing, struggling, shouting incoherently. Occasionally there are words that actually have meaning. And she Yes?
Don't strain yourself too hard, Savon. I'm gonna I'm gonna fight you right when you get out of here, okay? He just talks to that frothing, mouth frothing mass of panther and
She's had more lucid days, to be sure. Civ turns around. And I'll be sure to tell her.
he walks out the door.
All right. And with that, is there anything in particular you want to do, Dandy, before we advance to?
There may have been something. I forget.
Or is it about time to unsplit the party?
It's pretty close, yes.
I forget. Wasn't I supposed to go to house? Was it going to house ball for these guys or for, I forget.
I don't remember if you explicitly had any business at House Ball.
I remember something about that.
Yeah, I thought there was something about House Spa too, but I
There's
don't
always
remember
something
what it
about
was.
house spa.
There's
House Spa.
always.
Olivia wants to see us, but
Oh, that's right. She wanted
something
to.
about something.
She wanted to apologize to the group. That's what it was.
Right.
Let's go. We'll go there right now.
We got the message somehow.